How to cure meat at homes. Imagine being out in the wild, having just harvested a fresh game animal. You want to make that meat last, but how do you do it without a refrigerator? Curing meat at home is a fantastic skill to learn, especially for those interested in survival skills and food acquisition. Let's break down the process of curing meat so you can enjoy your wild game for longer. First, start with clean, fresh meat. If you have wild game, ensure it has been properly field dressed and cooled. There are two main methods for curing meat: dry curing and wet curing, also known as brining. Let's talk about dry curing first. You will need to mix salt with curing salts, which contain sodium nitrite. This ingredient helps prevent bacterial growth and keeps the meat's color. You can also add spices if you like. Once your mixture is ready, apply it evenly over the entire surface of the meat, pressing it in well. Next, place the meat in a sealed container or bag. This helps keep the cure in contact with the meat. For the curing process, you want to keep the meat in a cool environment, ideally between 34 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit or 1-4 degrees Celsius. The curing time depends on the thickness of the meat, roughly for days for every inch of thickness. After the curing period, you can hang the meat to dry. Choose a controlled environment with moderate humidity, around 65 to 80%, and temperatures between 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. The goal is to lose the desired amount of moisture while concentrating the flavors. Now let's move on to wet curing or brining. For this method, prepare a brine solution using water, salt, curing salts, and optional sugar and spices. Submerge the meat completely in the brine. If you have thicker cuts, you can inject the brine deep into the muscles using a needle injector. Keep the meat refrigerated during the curing period. The brine will penetrate about half an inch per 24 hours, so the time will vary depending on the size of the meat. After curing, you can either cook the meat or dry it further. Remember, salt is your main preservative. It prevents bacterial growth and draws moisture out of the meat. Curing salts are essential for safety, especially to prevent botulism in conditions without oxygen. Hygiene is key throughout this process. Always wash your hands and tools to avoid contamination. The environment where you cure the meat should be cool and humid enough to prevent spoilage but not so moist that it encourages mold growth. Curing wild game can also improve the flavor and tenderize tougher cuts of meat. When drying cured meat, keep an eye on its weight loss and pay attention to sensory cues like smell and texture to know when it is ready. Mastering the art of curing meat allows you to preserve wild game without refrigeration. This skill can help you store meat safely and enjoy it for weeks or even months. Whether you choose dry or wet curing, you will be able to maintain the quality of your meat while savoring the flavors of your hard-earned catch.